かお集まりいただきありがとうございます。時間になりましたので、2016年度アカデミックスキルズプレゼンテーションコンペティションを始めさせていただきます。司会進行は田畑、橋本、八木の3人です。よろしくお願いします。私たちはアカデミックスキルズ1年間を通して自分たちでテーマを決め論文執筆をしてきました。本日はその中で選ばれた方々のプレゼンテーションの発表を行います。なお、本日は論文コンペティションの審査発表も最後に行います。論文コンペティションに出場している作品は後方の扉の前の机にあります。ぜひ休憩時間等にご覧になってください。また、お手洗いはこちら前方の扉を出て右に進みますとございます。それではまずはじめにプレゼンコンペ実行委員長小学部1年謝ユンファンさんから挨拶がございます。謝実行委員長、お願いします。
ご紹介に預かりました本コンペティション実行委員長を務めさせていただきます謝ユンファンと申します。本日はアカデミックスキルズプレゼンコンペティションへご参加いただき ありがとうございます。この授業アカデミックスキルズはビジネスの場でもまた学術の場でも自ら課題を設定し、それに対して解決していくその土台となるものを作っていく授業で、私にとってはこの4年間の大学生活の中でまず役立つものをする上での最初の一歩と位置づけています。発表者一同時間をかけまして精一杯努力して行いましたので、ぜひご覧になってください。では最後にこのアカデミックスキルズの授業をサポートしていただいたすべての先生方、極東証券様、またすべての学生とすべてのこのコンペティションをサポートしていただいた方々に感謝の意味を示し、挨拶をさせていただきます。
実行委員長、ありがとうございます。続いてご来賓の方々の紹介に移らせていただきます。まず極東証券代表取締役会長菊池博之様、菊池会長ご友人山田勉様、極東証券人事部人事グループ長小口晃様、極東証券人事部人事グループ課長井上恵美子様、ご来賓の皆様、ありがとうございました。それでは各プレゼンテーションの発表に先立ちまして、本日の流れ等について説明させていただきます。本日の発表は英語クラスから2名、日本語クラスから6名、映像クラスから2作品の発表を行います。順序は英語クラス、日本語クラス、映像クラスの順番に発表し、最後に審査発表を行います。また、観客の皆様の採点が審査に影響するので、採点の方ご協力お願いします。それではプレゼンテーション 次は慶応義塾市高等学校出身火曜2限クラス現在医学部1年生佐藤正幸さんの発表です。第22回 AIU 米国国際高校生国際交流プログラムに応募した後、医師・ドクターへの夢を明確にしたという彼は、現在医学部分子生物学の塩見研究室において DNA の研究をしている研究者の一人です。本日一体どのような発表をしてくれるのでしょうか。タイトルは Can we produce designer babies in Japan? Analysis of rapid development in technology and concerns about gene modification です。それでは Mr. Sato よろしくお願いいたします。
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Masayuki Sato. And first of all, I want to thank that I can stand here because of the support from organizers and funding from Kyokuto Securities. And today's theme of my presentation is, can we produce designer babies in Japan? In this presentation, I define designer babies as the babies who receive gene editing before his birth. But why am I going to talk about this issue right now? Because this issue is once thought like as if it were a dream. But in 2013, it becomes the certain technology that emerges to enable us to make designer babies. And this emergence of designer babies will strike our recognition towards life. So thinking of this issue is a great urgency for all of us. As I am a medical student and also one of the researchers of molecular biology, so my hope is that all of you to think about this issue deeply, based on the clear understanding with the scientific and ethical concerns surrounding it. I will do my best to give you this kind of understandings in this presentation so that you may come to your own independent conclusions. So I want to talk about the genetic information, basic genetics. Each person has the genetic information as the form of DNA, and the whole set of DNA is called genome. The differences in genome sequence causes inherited diseases, the color of skin and eyes and hair, and ability in sports, and also related to our intelligence. If we edit the genome of fertilized egg, the 60 trillion cells which will consist the living organism body will also be edited at once. And that way, mankind has produced many kinds of gene-edited animals. It first as bacteria, and then mice as the first vertebrates, and next monkeys in 2014. So it is natural that scientists think, why humans cannot make gene editing humans? So, to answer this question, I set two research questions. First, it is technically possible to make designer babies in Japan. If it is possible, number two, how and when should human gene editing be permitted? To achieve this goal, I set literature review divided into 4 parts: technology, ethics, laws, and practice. First, let's take a look at the technology section. This CRISPR-Cas9 system made designer babies feasible. And this shows the CRISPR-Cas9 system, and it is like scissors at the molecular level. So we can cut the genome at however we like, or insert DNA fragment at the specific location, so that we can modify living organism genome easily and freely. So let's take a look how we can make designer babies with this technology. This method aims to make designer babies with injecting CRISPR-Cas9 system directly into fertilized egg. First, fertilize egg and sperm artificially, and next, inject CRISPR-Cas9 system into it and edit the genome. Third, sequence genome and pick a successfully edited egg and return it to mother's womb. So, designer baby is going to be born. So next I'm going to talk about the benefits that human gene editing can bring. Of course, human gene editing can eliminate inherited disorders like Huntington diseases. But not only that, there are two other advantages that human gene editing can bring. It can reduce the risks of getting cancer, AIDS, Alzheimer's disease, and probably aging in the future. And do you remember about the Angelina Jolie's double mastectomy? Mutation in those two genes causes 87% chances of breast cancer in the future. She noticed she had those mutations and she decided to take double mastectomy. So human gene editing can contribute to reduce the risks of getting lethal disease in the future. Here I defined prevention for innate probability of suffering diseases as inactive prevention. It is like a situation of Angelina Jolie, who has the high risks of getting cancer in the future. But on the other hand, everyone has the same probability of getting AIDS, Alzheimer's, and aging. It is not related to innate probability, so I define prevention for those threats as active prevention. And lastly is an enhancement. Human gene editing is a possibility to do in cosmetic editing, improve athletic ability, and also increases our intelligence. This figure shows a near future in which enhancement is allowed by human gene editing. And everyone is handsome and muscular and like athletic and clever. Don't you think is it horrible? Because everyone becomes homogenized and everyone loses their humanity. So almost all positions of researchers are to prohibit enhancements. And no country is allowed to make designer babies right now. And almost all countries strictly restrict to edit human fertilized egg genome itself. But surprisingly, United Kingdom has allowed scientists to modify human fertilized egg genome in the last year. On the other hand, Japan has no clear legal regulations for human gene editing, and only guidelines exist. And moreover, Japan is the assisted reproductive treatment superpower in the world. This table shows the current situation of reproductive medicine. And thinking of the population between Japan and the United States, we can notice ART is very, very frequent in Japan. And currently, 1 in 27 babies are born with ART in Japan. It is because of the adoption and sperm donation is not common in Japan. And the researchers said it is related to Japanese tendency to value the blood ties. And clinging to blood-related children also implies that there is a high demand of gene therapy in Japan. So as we have seen in a literature review, producing designer babies is nearly viable right now. And human gene editing has a great potential, but at the same time, it also has several problems. So to overcome these problems, I will now discuss about how and when should human gene editing be permitted. A human X modification was carried out twice in 2015 and 16 for the first time in the world. However, the efficiency was only 5% and 9%. So that we can say more basic research is required until the technology can control almost all genes at a high efficiency. In the same context, I also suggest Japanese researchers not to hesitate to do research with the human fertilized egg to accumulate our knowledge and skills to carry out human gene editing, while ethical concerns into consideration. Next, in terms of thinking the ethical problems, a clear boundary between gene therapy and enhancement is the most controversial problem. And to think about the rapid development technology, this high-tech, high-touch is a very helpful concept. It is said that embrace technology that preserves our humanness and reject technology that improves upon it. And to clarify the meaning of humanness, the definition of human dignity is a right not to be treated as things. Thus, now I'm going to draw a clear line between human gene therapy and enhancement. If there is no option to cure inherited disorders, using CRISPR-Cas9 to correct disease-causing genes should be permitted for the first time. But however, prevention lies on the gray zone. The problem is, babies cannot agree with the treatment, what they are going to take. Inactive prevention, like deleting cancer-causing genes, is similar to correction, and its usage is adapted to gene therapy. On the other hand, enhancement like cosmetic editing cannot be called gene therapy, because choosing child's features freely without his consent is like ultimate shopping or customizing robots, and it implies that parents can treat their child as goods, not as humans. So enhancement is clearly against our humanness and our human dignity. But active prevention is also considered and described as enhancement, but different from cosmetic editing. Every recipient, no matter how the values or environment they have, can embrace the treatment that adds endurance to Alzheimer's or slowing aging. Anti-aging does not mean an eternal life. It intends only to lengthen a healthy lifespan. So active prevention does not damage our humanness and human dignity. And I think it will be and should be admitted in the world. So I suggest human gene editing should be allowed from correction to active prevention. In conclusion, I want to summarize the main points of my presentation. Human gene editing is not clinically used right now, but at the same time, it surely will be clinical use in the near future. Because of irreplaceable benefits and estimated high demand in Japan, and no clear laws restricting human gene editing, this study suggests human gene editing can apply to secure safety and permitted purposes. To secure safety, more basic research is required, and I also suggest to encourage research with human fertilized egg. And for purposes, we have to reject purposes violating our humanity. And I think it should be allowed from correction to active prevention. So careful consideration of human gene therapy will make it one of the most fruitful technology in history. Lastly, I want to thank the professors Adam and Atsushi, Mariko, and Mayumi, who gently guided me with enthusiasm. Without their help, I cannot stand here today. That completes my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
ただいまの発表は12分15秒でした。それでは質疑応答に移ります。質問のある方は挙手をお願いいたします。
Well, it's a very shocking report you made. And I know that the epigenetics, but I think at the same time, however, you know how to form the, for example, protein or DNA through the means of quantum biology. You know, we know, yes, we know that we can make, or we can for how to why is so many protein or some other molecules will be formed through the means of so-called hydrogen transferase enzyme. So that will in the near future, I hope, by the means of quantum biology. It's a more gentle way not to produce babies. But I think I'm also interested in this field of science. But I'm 76 years shy of 2 months. So I have no time, but you have much time. Please study.
Yeah, thank you.
Quantum biology, more gentle way, not to produce, but make baby, nice baby.
Thank you. I'm not good at quantum biology, and I don't know about the quantum biology, but I'll try hard to study it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I'm Yoko Fuji, the second year student in the Faculty of Law and taking the 35th period class. And I have one question. You said that in 2016 in the United Kingdom, the gene editing is already legalized, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell me in detail what kind of gene editing is actually done in the United Kingdom? And if there are some problems with it, can you tell me in detail?
Thank you. So I don't know about the specific gene's name, but the United Kingdom allowed scientists to modify the human fertilized egg genome, but not allowed to make the designer baby, so to make the clinical pregnancy. So that's my question. I don't know about the specific gene name. I'm sorry, but does it clear your questions? Thank you. Any other questions? 이런 거요.
Thank you. Adam Kumasara from the Department or Faculty of Letters. You had mentioned at the end that you recommend that there be studies on human fertilized eggs in order to improve the application of this science and technology. I was wondering, are there any other ways that you could recommend to improve the efficiency or effectiveness of this approach?
Yes, like I mentioned in this slide, we can use the monkey's fertilized egg to accumulate these skills. But at the same time, it is easier to get human fertilized egg because of the assisted reproductive technology, because there is very much surplus of the human fertilized egg because of them not becoming the pregnancy, you know. But Japan is good at using monkeys, but in Europe it's not. Like, in Europe, you cannot get monkeys' human fertilized egg freely. Mice. Yeah, but it's very mice and human biology is very, very different. So I think it will be admitted of humans because Britain allowed this. So yeah. We have to think about the other options to accumulate those knowledge. Thank you.
それでは以上をもちまして質問を終わらせていただきます。佐藤さんありがとうございました。